Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we are definitely starting to form a bottom here. I am not saying that the price can't go lower. I'm saying that we are slowing down, and I think we will see a reversal in the next coming, I don't know, week or so. This week is going to be very telling on what's going on. And there's a couple things I'm looking at that are looking very bullish in, I guess, the short term. If you look long term, obviously we are down pretty good from the top, so it's not looking super bullish long term in the last couple of weeks that have happened. But I have noticed something that is very interesting. We'll cover liquidity, where there's some liquidity zones, where there'll be some possible liquidations, and where the price should be attracted to. And then I want to look at the crypto fear and greed and the FOMO, because they're in a place that doesn't normally happen very often. So if we go look at that, and by the way, there's a lot of FUD going on like crazy on X. I see so much of it going on right now. A bunch of people are talking about how MicroStrategy is going to collapse if the price goes to 77,000 or 74,000. And there's this MSCI that said basically all treasury companies are going to be pulled out of indices and all sorts of stuff like that. So there's usually the most amount of FUD coming out near bottoms, right? So you'll see people, some people, I've seen some theories saying that, they'll kind of sway the media and the news to kind of force people to kind of sell the positions at a loss. And, when there'll be really bullish articles when the price is near, resistance, and very bearish articles when the price is near support, on the bottom side. But it's also kind of just, the sentiment as well. So I've seen a lot of that on X like crazy about the MSCI. If we search that, let's search MSCI. I see a lot of people talking about this one lately, saying that this was what was the cause of, the 10-10 liquidation. And apparently they did, they put out some report saying that they're overvalued and they're going to be removed from that, different funds and the index stuff. And Michael Saylor has right here completely responded to this and said, strategy is not a fund, not a trust, not a holding company. We're a publicly traded operating company with 500 million software business. Obviously they have billions of dollars of Bitcoin, but they have a software business, and they're not a trust, basically. So it's like people are saying that, or the MSCI index was saying that, here's actually what I was talking about. The real reason behind the October 10 crypto crash is finally out. It wasn't random. Basically, on the same evening the crash began, MSCI quietly released a consultation saying companies holding 50% of their assets in Bitcoin could be excluded from the MSCI global indexes. Now, I don't know much about this, but they're basically, I think, in charge of different indexes that pick up stocks and put them in passive indexes, right? So when you're in those, that means like retirement funds and stuff like that get passive investment into these companies. So if that happened, it would remove like a bunch of Bitcoin mining companies because they hold more than 50% of their assets in Bitcoin, etc. So this has been a lot of the FUD I've seen lately, as well as, Michael Saylor is going to get liquidated and forced to sell to pay strike dividends and stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of that. And this does often happen when the sentiment is very fearful, right? Extreme fear, extreme fear, extreme fear. The last yesterday and last week. And then today, for the first time I've seen in a while, we've seen panic on FOMO Finder. This kind of goes through the different funding and predicted funding rates. And you can see this is most people betting on the market going lower. So most people are short, and predicted funding, I think it kind of shows with like the trend, how it works. But you can see it's very negative, meaning a lot of people are going to go short. You can see if I zoom in that this hasn't happened actually, surprisingly, in a little bit here. So, but now you see the purple start showing up on the chart here at the bottom. We had some purple up here, which was interesting, but then it came down here, and then now we're even more in the purple. So another thing that's very interesting about that is if we go to like this little sentiment layout I have here, this is Bitcoin ETF flows right here on the top, and then Ethereum, then Solana. Then we have this FOMO Finder, which is now back in fear, or what was it? Panic, sorry. The purple's panic. And then here we have the extreme fear. And then on the very bottom, I have like this short-term bubble risk indicator. And you'll notice something is the last time that we were in extreme fear and panic on FOMO here, and very, negative on this bubble risk, was right here. So very interesting. As you can see, this was right, the last time we got exactly here. So right here, we had this panic, we had extreme fear, but this wasn't as oversold yet. And then here we had at the very bottom, we had this panic here. We had extreme fear, about the same levels we have right now. And we had the short-term bubble risk very low. So when I look at all of those together, it looks like we're in the process of forming a bottom. So I really like to see all of these things confluence together. This makes me even more likely to shoot a long trade, and I do have long trades open on Bitunix, and I'm going to continue to add to them. I think we will most likely sweep this low here. We'll see what happens here, but if I go back to my trading indicator and I get rid of some of these here, you can see that another thing is we're getting some big dots on the market cipher B. So if I go to the daily, you can see we have a big green dot. Usually that's a good buying opportunity. But let's look at liquidity now. So I think we could easily sweep this bottom here, but there's really not that much liquidity. So we'll go through a couple different ones. We'll go through the 24-hour liquidity. This is basically where a lot of shorts will get either liquidated or where shorts or longs will get liquidated here. So if we go 24-hour, there's a bunch of liquidity sitting at 85,174. This is also an interesting price, 85,174, because that's where the Bitcoin CME gap is. So this time we did create a CME gap, and it's a little bit on the low side. So we have Friday close. I've seen a couple people say that, but I don't really see a CME gap there, which is kind of interesting. So Friday came all the way down here. Oh yeah, it did. Okay, so there's a little bit one right here. 84,595 is what I see here. So we zoom in right here, you can see. So the price came all the way, opened here, came all the way down here, and then closed here. And then right now we opened up here. So there is technically a little CME gap till about right there. 84,640 is what I see. I don't know where the 85 came from. Maybe I'm missing that. But so there's a CME gap there. And then there's also the liquidity. If I go back to where I was, I've kind of just marked this liquidity on the chart here. So you can see there's some a little bit below, but there's a bunch higher. So we'll go show that real quick. So on the 24-hour, the most liquidity is really up here at like 88,000, but there is some down here at 85,240. So short term, I think we could either come up here and then back down, or we could come down and then back up. But if you keep going out, so there's 24-hour, here's 3-day liquidity. This just looks further back. There is more liquidity below at 83,290. Okay. And then there's really not a lot up here. There is some, but not a lot. And then if we go to like 1 week liquidity, it'll get even, a little bit slightly different here. So now we have some below 83,000, right? And then we have a little tiny bit below the price, but look at now there's starting to be a lot of liquidity to the upside, right? So right here at 88.8, up here at 94, there's a lot of liquidity. And then if we go to like the 1 month, the further we go out, the higher the liquidity is, because obviously we're coming from a higher price. So that's pretty much how it works, right? So people can't open longs lower than this because we haven't been there yet. So that's kind of like, it shows where there's a lot of orders that are looking to get liquidated, and sometimes market makers will move the price up into these orders or down into these orders to liquidate traders. Now, I see a lot of people talk about liquidity flows to, the price flows to liquidity, but, it's kind of funny, it does seem like market makers move the price to where most liquidations are. And you can see up here now we're at like 112. There's a lot of liquidity, And if we go to like another view here, you can see that there is some liquidity. Here's 1 day. There's some liquidity below. But if you go all the way to the top here, that means there is $500 million. If you go all the way over here, there's 300 million. So even on the 1 day, there's more liquidity above. But if you start going to like the 7-day and the 30-day, you can see, what do we got? $2 billion here, and then only $1 billion here. If we go to the 30-day, it has to be skewed the other way because we're coming from a higher price. So there has to be more liquidity up here, but $2.15 billion up here, and then, 600 million down here. So this is just Bitcoin on Binance. But if you look at like the total, this is all of the exchanges. We can do that same thing. So more liquidity above. If we go 7-day, you can see there's 7 billion versus 3 billion. And then if you go 30-day, you can see we have 7 billion versus 2.4 billion. So interesting. There's a lot of liquidity to the upside, obviously, because we're coming from the upside, but it does seem like the max paid scenario is going to the upside because there still is a bunch of people shorting, a bunch of people, I'm really torn because we've hit some price targets that have basically said historically, if we hit this price, the bull market's over. But I've seen so many people talking about it and waiting for that close, the weekly close below that, that maybe we just kind of scoot out into a new all-time high just to kind of disprove this theory going forward. That would be kind of an interesting way to play this out. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to make a new high, and no one knows that. But it's been interesting because, again, if we go on the weekly, and I've showed this many times, this red moving average, which is the 350-day, everyone has said if we close weekly candles below this, that the bull market's over, because that is historically what has happened. But I've seen so many people watching this that I'm wondering, maybe if this is not going to be true anymore going forward and the price has been pushed below this, a lot of people have been selling. There's a lot of FUD. I think at least we're going to get a bounce up into probably at least the bull market support band about 108. But we could easily either sweep a new high or move up into even like the 130, 150 range. My 200K target by October 1st, which was my target from years ago, obviously didn't even get close to playing out. But we'll see what happens. But I do think that we're in the process of finding a bottom here, as I've said, and bottoms can take some time. Let me clean up the chart a little bit. There's a lot going on. Bottoms take some time, right? So we could be in this area over here. We could be in this area where, it looks like we're bottoming, and then maybe we just do one more bottom, in another week or two. This is definitely a potential, but it could also be that this is the absolute bottom if we get some crazy news that comes out. The US is buying Bitcoin for a strategic reserve or something like that. Another thing is that if we just look at like the daily like RSI and stuff, it's really low. So if you look at like the market cipher B, this is pretty much the lowest it's been since this April low back here. And if I go back to the regular RSI, I like using this RSI. This one kind of, it like puts on the screen for me. You can see RSI with divergences is the indicator I use in TradingView, and it's a free one. So this one is kind of nice because it's the regular RSI, but then it also paints like oversold and overbought areas, so it paints them red and green, so it's kind of nice. But anyways, if you look at the RSI level, it is at a 23 on the daily, and even the tariff low didn't get that low. So you can see we have a lower price here, and then on the daily, and then we have a lower RSI but a higher price. So that's interesting because that's like a regular bullish divergence here on the daily, going from all the way back to here, all the way to here. You can see the price is higher, but then if we go here, you can see the price is actually lower on the RSI. So that's kind of interesting. But on the daily, we haven't been this low since all the way back in August of 2023, where the price of Bitcoin was 27,000. So I don't know, just kind of a little interesting fun fact is the RSI is extremely oversold, and usually we are due for a snapback price. Now, again, will it resolve to an all-time high? I think that's a lot lower probability now than I would have said 2 months ago. 2 months ago, before we broke this moving average, I would have said we're almost guaranteed to go to a new all-time high. Now that we've closed below here, I think it's much less likely, but still possible. So anyways, that's going to be it. I want to talk about Bitcoin mostly because this, of course, leads the market. I made an update video on Litecoin, was it yesterday, 2 days ago, and the Litecoin price has been holding up very well in terms of everything here. Let's take a look at USDT and then we'll get out of here for the day. Bitcoin dominance, I guess, also. We had a little bit of a move up on Bitcoin dominance yesterday, but we are still kind of looking like either we're trying to bottom, we come up to the bull market support band if we get another dump, or this could continue coming down. So the camel finance indicator does say there's a low here, but it's low likelihood is what it's saying here. USDT, it looks like it's trying to top, in all honesty. We had a really high number here. If we go to like our trade, let's go to our trading indicator. Yeah, we have really high on the RSI, 77.9%. We haven't seen, about 78%. We haven't seen that price since way back here in February. Interesting. So we haven't seen that RSI get that high, but it looks like, you know, we are going to potentially start moving down. It looks like we're trying to find a top. Momentum is slowing down a little bit on USDT. That's good for cryptocurrency. USDT plus USDC, you know, is just kind of sweeping the highs and hopefully coming back down. If we see that come back down, we will see, you know, currencies move back down. Total 3, which is, you know, kind of everything besides Bitcoin, ETH, and stable coins, does look like it's trying to bottom, and it did almost tap the bottom of this falling wedge here. And then if we just look at total ES, you know, everything minus stable coins, you can see we have kind of broken to the bottom. The lower side of this, which could be a fake out, but this is mostly driven by Bitcoin price because that's the biggest market cap in, you know, this index here. And it does have a low confidence low in for this. We do have a big sweep down on the market cipher B indicator, which I do have an affiliate link below. But anyways, yeah. So I have a bunch of leverage longs open. I use Bitunix. That's my favorite exchange. I do use them for everything. And feel free to use my affiliate link below. It is the best way to support the channel. That's going to be it for the video. I do have leverage positions open on Bitcoin, Solana, DOT, Litecoin, and NEO right now. So we're gonna see what happens here. I think we probably sweep this morning or this week, and then potentially we move up to the top. So that's it. Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone, and leave a comment below. What do you guys think? See ya.